Sagittarius, this is your tarot reading for the month of March. It is coming from the mountains of Java, but the opening clip is of Thailand. In fact, it's the Bangkok Amulets Market, and the reason I've chosen this is I'm using a Thai amulet to help me in this month's divination. Sagittarius, there's no doubt that March is an action-packed month. You look at that central card, the Knight of Wands. Look at the motion in it. It's moving very quickly, brave and fearlessly, and that runs throughout all of the other energies. Is it moving a little bit too quick? Are you going to make mistakes as a result? We'll see. We'll see. In your recent past, we have the sun, many blessings. You were blessed with many things and basking in it. And people could probably feel those blessings coming from you. Currently, your action planning, you're looking at probably quite radical actions, maybe even things that are overseas. But in the future, you go inside yourself for answers. You maybe even turn your back on your past life. The energy that impacts on the outcome is a degree of reflection, a reflection of your past successes and your past failures, and maybe even the barriers that you've created as a result of those failures. What would change the outcome is you learning something new, you going in and finding something new, because and I can understand that, because the outcome is the Six of Cups, and that sort of reminiscing, looking towards the past, maybe even looking towards people from the past, even past loves. The overall theme is taken from the energy of the Knight of Wands. He's a very brave knight, he's a very fearless knight. But the thing I take from this is action. He's a man of real action. Now, you might be a woman, don't get me wrong, but I think that March is all about action. Sometimes he acts first and thinks later. I don't know if that's what we should read into this, but this energy does run throughout, so we can say that all the other energies we see, I must put action into them. Now, in your recent past, we have the Sun card. A time of many blessings. A time of seemingly having everything. A time when the sun shone on you so brightly that people could feel it radiating off you. I often, when I see this card, I recall I was in Café du Monde in New Orleans, and in walked Alan Toussaint. You might not know who he is, but I suppose he's most famous for having written Lady Marmalade. A very tall man in a white suit and white fedora, and the whole restaurant went quiet. I think I was the only person in there who knew who he was, but he had that radiance, and I think you're looking towards the past as a golden age, because you know things are getting worse, and if you extrapolate to the future, they're going to get even more worse. Now, rather interestingly, now we have the Three of Wands, which is you action planning. And if you look at the card, he's looking overseas. So it's something quite radical that you're planning. You're planning major changes in your life. I think it's in response to this view that the past was a golden age, and an age that is maybe lost forever, and that you need to do something to respond to the changes in the world. I'm not sure that you really understand what they are, But you do feel that you need to have plans, and that's what you're doing. Now, me saying that I'm not sure that you know what you're doing wasn't me being flippant, because of you're currently action planning, but then in the future we have the Hermit, whereby you go inside yourself for information. So you were trying to develop plans without really knowing what's going on, without really knowing what you should be planning for. And so the Hermit is a good sign that you're going inside yourself looking for information. You look at him, he doesn't care about the outside world. He's looking inside himself for answers. Doesn't even care that he's walking through the sea there, does he? You know? No, he's going inside himself for answers. Hopefully you don't stay inside yourself, but I do have a worry that this sort of past through rose-tinted glasses, you can't get beyond it. You see, the energy that leads to the outcome is the Nine of Wands, and that is a contemplative sort of card. It's you looking at what's happened in the past, both your successes and failures, and maybe trying to learn from it, trying to extrapolate from the past. And given what I feel are the major changes going on in the world, I think that's entirely the wrong thing to be doing right now. So you're looking to the past for answers when I don't think the past gives us any clue as to, well, certainly not your past, and it is your past you're looking at. You're likely to put up barriers. You're likely to put up barriers to change, which probably isn't a good thing. Now, as I say, I think dwelling in the past is a problem you have. But the one thing that would change things is you making plans for the future. And of course, the overall energy of this is about planning. So if you can make plans for the future, for a long-term future, I think you can be rescued from using the past to analyse the future. So if you could make these long-term investments, be careful with them, because I see all investments right now as very dangerous. All markets as inherently rigged. But, you know, maybe it's investing in yourself. Maybe it's investing in your family. Maybe it's like me, you know, heading for the mountains and having a garden. I don't know. But if you can put down these long-term investments, I think it saves you from this dwelling in the past. You may well be saying, why am I banging on about not investing too much in the past? And you see, the outcome is the Six of Cups, which is you reminiscing about the past, but it's often the past through rose-tinted spectacles. You might even be getting in touch with people from the past, maybe even loved ones from the past. And I suppose at times of major change, like the world is going through now, that's something that we take comfort in, but it's not going to be what allows you to embrace the changes that you need to do. I want to get some clarification in case I've got this wrong, but I do see this focus on the past as not positive, let's put it that way. So I'm going to seek clarity on this Knight of Wands, this overall energy, because I think it is critical to understanding things. First card we get is the Five of Swords, which is a card of deception. Interesting. Second card we get is the Hierophant card, which I associate with formal religion. It could simply be to do with conservative ways of looking at things. And the final card we get is the Seven of Wands, you scoring some victories and public recognition. Very interesting. Let's look at all of those individually. Now, if you remember, we're clarifying the Knight of Wands. Brave, fearless, fast, maybe making mistakes as a result of being too fast. Why are you doing it? You're aware of deception. Now, it could be entirely personal to you, but a few signs this March, I feel, have become aware of deceptions going on in the world. Could that be it? Because there is the feeling that some of these things that are impacting on you are global. I wonder if you're aware of deception in the world, and this is causing you to act, causing you to do things. I do have this worry that you're something of a headless chicken, hence my concern about looking towards the past. And now we have the Hierophant card. Now, it could mean that you turn towards formal religion, but I think this is relating to the deception, and I think it is that you feel deceived by opinion formers, by leaders. You feel deceived by people you've looked to in the past for answers. Yes, of course, and that's why you're focusing on friends and your own past. You're focusing internally on your own past, rather than what what leaders, opinion formers have told you. It's a rejection of the conservative values that you have followed, probably. And the final card of clarity is the Seven of Wands. You scoring some victories. Now, these are battles, not wars won. She is on a platform, as you can see. It could make people jealous, but I don't think that's what we should read into it. No, I think what you've been doing is you've been looking somewhat for answers as to what's going on in the world. And like us all, you found some answers. And like so many people, I think you're convinced that the answers you found are the correct answers. Whereas I'm very dubious about the answers that I see out there. We had that card of deception. And I think there's been such deception. There are false trails for us in trying to understand what's going on in the world. And I think you're potentially following some of those false trails. Sagittarius, you look to the past as a golden age, an age in which you and everybody else was blessed, and you're aware that the world is changing, but you're looking for answers in the past. I think one thing you've rejected is the answers that you've been given in the past by leaders, by opinion formers. You have rejected that, and you're looking to your own past for answers. And you know that change is coming, and you're trying to develop plans to cope with this change, but you actually don't know where you're going. Now, you are going to start doing things which will help you, and that is you're going inside yourself looking for answers. But right now, in March at least, you focus very much on your past. You focus on what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked in the past, and think that will get you through to the future. But really, you need to be thinking